We are live from Gateway City, California, 3:05 p.m. Pacific Time. If you are just joining us, we don't know what we are looking at. An unknown object has appeared over the coast. It looks like a massive inverted stone pyramid. It's hovering silently over the water. Oh my God, something is coming out of it. They look like demons? Thousands of them. They are swarming the streets. Wait, look at the sky. Something else is coming. It tears through the clouds like a thunderbolt. It isn't a plane. It isn't a bird. It is a nightmare riding a nightmare. A woman clad in black iron armor, riding a steed made of bleached bones and dark magic. She dives into the swarm. She wields a blade taller than a man, the mythical Athena blade. And with a single swing, she cleaves through the demons, black blood raining onto the pavement. She lands on the street. The asphalt cracks beneath her boots. A terrified soldier runs up to her. He asks, "Are you in charge here, soldier?" She looks at him and says, "That is a no. Where is your superior?" The soldier stammers about evacuating civilians. She cuts him off. They are not dead. They are only stunned. And they are but harbingers for what is to come. To understand who this woman is, and why she rides a skeleton horse, we have to go back. Once upon a time there was a princess, and like all princesses, she was given gifts: beauty, compassion, grace. But this princess was also given other gifts: the ability to outrun a hellhound, and the power to conjure the darkest of magics. Years ago, the wild Isle of Hell, also known as the prison of the great sorceress Circe. Circe had been exiled here by the gods, until one day the sun arrived. Apollo descended from Olympus, holding a bundle in his arms. He spoke with the voice of a tyrant. "This baby is Diana, princess of Themyscira. She is the last of the Amazons. My father Zeus has punished her people. She will never see her sisters again. Her home is now hell. And you, Circe, are her warden." And then Apollo gave the cruelest command of all. "From here forth, the word Amazon is banned. So I decree. Try to say it, Circe. Try to say the word. I want to see you burn." Apollo vanished, leaving a witch who hated the gods, holding a child she did not want. Circe looked at the child and thought, "I am no mother. If the hell vipers eat her, it is not my fault." She left the baby in the dirt. But Diana was different. When a venomous red viper slithered into her crib, she didn't cry. She grabbed it. She burned it with her bare hands. She laughed. Circe watched and realized this child was a survivor. Years passed. One night, by the fire, a teenage Diana looked at her mother figure and asked, "Mother, I must ask you about this word again. How can I know a word without having ever heard it? How can it beat in my chest so powerfully without knowing what it means?" Circe looked away. She said, "You aren't afraid of a word, Diana. You are afraid of the change saying it will bring." Circe was right. Diana wasn't just afraid of a word. She was afraid of becoming something the world wasn't ready for. And speaking of things the world isn't ready for, if you are enjoying this darker, grittier take on the DC universe, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. We are covering every single issue of the absolute universe. You don't want to miss the war that is coming. Now, let's see what happens when Diana finally stops being afraid. Back in the present, Gateway City is burning. From the floating pyramid, a massive hand emerges. Harbinger Prime, a red, hulking monstrosity of muscle and teeth. Diana stands her ground and screams, "You are not welcome, Harbinger Prime. This world will defend itself. I stand before you with the mythical Athena blade, forged by Hephaestus himself." The monster just laughs. It fires a beam of concentrated energy from its eyes. Fzzz. Diana blocks it, but the force is overwhelming. She is thrown backward. She lies in the rubble. Damn laser eyes, every time. The monster steps forward and sneers, "Again you stand? We are not amused." It prepares to crush her, but Diana remembers the fire. We flash back to hell. We see Circe finally defying the gods. She looks her daughter in the eye and whispers, "Amazon." The spell breaks. In the present, Diana's eyes begin to glow with the red fire of the underworld. The monster says, "Away, warrior. You are beaten." Diana stands up and says, "No, I insist." She channels all the magic of hell into her blade. She summons the spirit of every Amazon who was wronged by Zeus. She leaps into the air. With one strike, she decapitates the Harbinger. She stands over the corpse of the beast, and Diana delivers the message the world has been waiting for. "For I am Diana of Themyscira, last of the Amazons, daughter of Circe, princess of hell, witch of the wild isle, and you will not have this world while I still draw breath." Back in Gateway City, the battle pauses. The red giant, Harbinger Prime, doesn't die. It stops. It looks at Diana and says, "We accept." It warns her that the tetracide is coming, and then it vanishes into the ocean. The first wave is over, but the war has just begun. But to understand why the military trusts a woman riding a skeleton horse, we have to go back again, to the Wild Isle, to hell, a few years ago. A man wakes up on the black sands of hell. He is coughing up water. His uniform is torn. He looks up and he sees a giant hydra trying to eat him. And then he sees her, Diana, the princess of hell. She doesn't kill the monster. She just handles it. She saves him. She takes him back to the cave. Circe is there, looking unimpressed. Circe asks, "Who does he belong to, daughter?" "You?" Diana replies, "No, he belongs to himself. But I found him, so I am responsible for his life." The man introduces himself. "My name is Steve Trevor, United States Air Force." He asks where he is. Diana tells him the truth. "You are in the underworld, essentially hell." Steve pauses. He looks devastated. He says, I thought I was a good man, Diana. I didn't think hell was where I was headed. And in that moment, in the darkest place in the universe, Diana shows him kindness. She says, not everyone here belongs here, Steve. Sometimes it's just where we land. Back in the present day, Gateway City, Steve Trevor is walking Diana through a military command center. The soldiers are staring. They are terrified of her. And the man in charge, Commander Cole, is furious. He yells at her. You are endangering lives. You have no authorization. For all we know, you are in league with these monsters. Diana doesn't flinch. She looks at him like he is a child throwing a tantrum. She says, I understand your frustration, Commander. You cannot control me. But that is not my problem. She leans in. My problem is that monsters are coming, and you will need my help. But understand this. Any effort to turn me into a weapon for your military will not be tolerated. She walks out. She has a horse to feed. Outside, Steve finds her feeding Pegasus. He asks, what the hell does a dead horse eat? Diana smiles. Magic. Steve looks at the skeleton creature. Can I pet him? Diana nods. You may. He finds your manner soothing. Steve asks, what's his name? Diana says, Pegasus. Steve laughs. Your Pegasus is named Pegasus. Diana looks at him seriously. No, Steve. This is the Pegasus, born of Medusa's blood, slain by Zeus. He is bones because he was murdered, and like me, he was brought back by magic and sacrifice. It is a quiet moment between two soldiers from different worlds. But in the absolute universe, quiet never lasts. Suddenly, Diana drops to her knees. She grabs her head. She screams. Steve yells, Diana, what's happening? She gasps, cover your ears. It's what comes next that we have to fear. She prays to her mother. She prays to the goddesses. Because she hears it before she sees it. From the ocean, the water begins to boil. The harbinger was just a messenger. This is the message. A creature rises from the deep. It isn't a robot. It isn't a ship. It is a biological nightmare the size of a mountain. A kaiju that blocks out the sun. It is called the Tetracide. The commander screams, evacuate the city, now! Diana stands up, looking at the beast. Her face is pale. She told them to evacuate within a mile. She looks at the size of the monster and whispers, City? You said a mile. She draws her sword. I was wrong. The Tetracide is here, and it leaves nothing behind. Subscribe to ComicFLEX to see how Absolute Wonder Woman fights a living mountain in the next issue.